We are so inundated with news and social media and everything that's going on that you really can't take a conscious look at, wow, how am I consuming? What is actually coming into my brain? What am I taking in? And how is it affecting my body on a cellular level? Because you don't even notice that part of it.
Hello, and welcome to the PSI Podcast, a podcast for you to explore where a life lived with purpose meets transformation. Each week, we will bring you powerful insights, inspiring stories, and real-world tools for you to break through your limitations, unlock your potential, and live the life you are meant to. I'm your host, Tim Bowen.
And I am your co-host, Mackenzie O'Kelley. For more than 50 years, PSI seminars and PSI World have helped thousands of people create the life they deserve to live. And now, it's your turn.
So welcome back to part 4 of Purposeful Alignment on the PSI Podcast with Alison Bechtel Clark, Mackenzie O'Kelley, and me, Tim Bowen. This is a 4-part series. We're going to start wrapping it up now with Alison. For anybody who may have joined a learning lab with Alison on this very topic, you're really going to want to pay attention on this episode because she's going to be diving into some subject matter that didn't make the cut for the live workshop. So, Alison, we look forward to hearing what you have to say. For anybody tuning in, if you missed parts 1, 2, or 3, make sure you go back, listen to those, watch those, and then we'll be here for you. So, Alison, take it away.
Yeah, for those of you who were on the learning lab, I think I maybe talked a little too long, so I missed some of the content. It's all good. It's all good. And get round 2. Perfect. And so I'm sure I'm not the only one who's noticed, but the landscape of the world right now has felt a little bit heavy, right? There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of conflict, a lot of, chatter back and forth, and social media isn't helping any of it. So I know it's important, and everyone we're talking about doom scrolling earlier, right? We flip through it. And have you ever noticed? I noticed for me, there's been times where I've been flipping through and then something pops up on my feed and I instantly have a reaction to it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that person just said that. That is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Which is exactly what that content is designed to create, right? It's that the content on social media right now is designed to create this artificial separateness, to create this division.
Yeah, hook, line, and sinker, like right here. It happens to all of us. And so the challenge with the way how our world is built right now is exactly what Tim said, is everyone's looking for a reaction, right? The reaction is what feeds the algorithm. It feeds the division. It feeds all of the negativity that's going on. And so there's an opportunity for us within this because it is what it is, right? We're not changing Facebook or Instagram or Google or, we aren't doing anything for those people. However, we can do something for us and for our communities as well. So this really is an opportunity to practice. And I say practice a lot, like every time I'm with any group, you have to realize that what you're learning about you is something you have to practice all the time. And I find that is sometimes the hardest thing for people to understand, that no matter what you learn at the basic, the life success course, the leadership classes, or if you go to the advanced courses, is if you don't practice these things on a day-by-day, moment-by-moment basis, you will not integrate it. And the whole purpose of doing these things is to integrate what you're learning so your life becomes the life that you've always wanted. And so it takes work and it takes commitment and it takes action. And this topic we're going to talk about is a really great way to practice on a moment by moment basis because we are so inundated with news and social media and everything that's going on that you really can't take a conscious look at, wow, how am I consuming? What is actually coming into my brain? What am I taking in? And how is it affecting my body on a cellular level? Because you don't even notice that part of it, right? So if you just have some patience with yourself and with others. And so here's the hardest part. I had a conversation with a graduate the other day, and she was talking about how she had an argument with a loved one, and this person was just yelling at her. Like, he was just mad, 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 mad. And she knew, she had enough consciousness to know that it wasn't about her. And yet she had enough consciousness to know she didn't need to react. All she had to do was just stand there and just allow whatever he needed to get out to get out. And so sometimes you probably need to give yourself that kind of space to just allow whatever you need to get out so you can get back into being who you actually are and not the person that reacts for no reason. Because the challenge is when you react to someone else, check in with how you feel about you.
That is so true, Allison. Like I had a very similar experience recently, and I went opposite of react. I just shut down because I was like, what's happening? And then after, when I reflected, I naturally went to a list of all the things I wish I would have said, right? Because I just was in shock, shut down, didn't react at all. And then I'm like, oh, well, next time I'm going to say this, this, this. And then to pause and go, why? Like, talking about making them wrong. Like, for what's my need to properly react and to say these things versus just letting them say whatever they need to say. And it's not like, I don't need to react in that way. But that was a struggle to be like, well, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. And it's like, why?
Yeah. Totally. And that happens all the time.
Well, and I think that's so important when we are in alignment, right? When I'm in alignment, it doesn't take extra effort to stay grounded, to stay calm, to be that pass through, right? Whereas if I'm out of alignment, I can feel it, because if I want to be neutral, I'm like working hard at it. And it's like taking all my energy and strength to not react, which in itself is a reaction, right? And like Alison's saying, and I feel it mentally, emotionally, physically, right? Like it's out of whack, versus like when I'm really solid in myself, like it's easy to just be like, okay,
totally.
And you're here and we're good.
You totally nailed it, Tim. That's it too. Because when you do have a reaction like that, and it's like you're not reacting, but you're really, really reacting, and you do walk away feeling drained, like you're in a complete drought, like you are the one draining you from fighting with that situation at the moment. So like you can totally tell if you are able to check in with those emotions and feelings, you'll know, like, okay, that was not good for me. Probably not for them either. Right? And so the question you get to ask is like, what happens when you allow someone to say what they want, even if you don't agree with them?
That's extremely common currently.
Yeah. Like how often most of the time, I mean, there's certain social media apps I won't even open because it's just a cesspool of negativity. And the other ones, like someone could say something really great, like, oh, look at this painting my child just made. And then someone rips them apart. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? It's a kid. Leave them alone, you know? And it's like, and I'm thinking, okay, they didn't like the painting. Why do I care? It's not my painting. The mom's never going to show the kid the painting. But the point is, like, how do you just allow people the space to go through what they're going through? Because they're clearly going through something. We're all going through something. It's just how we bring it up to others that can sometimes inflict some challenges.
Challenges galore in our world, in our society presently. Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot happening in the world, right? And I think the greatest gift that you can give to yourself and to your family and people around you is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time, is really being able to know who you are, what works for you and what doesn't. Because when you're really clear about what doesn't work, it's easy to step aside and go, okay, not a problem. Go do you and I'll go do me. It's awesome. And when you're not, that's when conflicts happen. right? And so I read this quote, I don't know, probably 25 years ago, and it's conflicts arise when expectations differ. And so when someone has an expectation of you and you have a different expectation of them, that's when things tend to blow up. And yet when there's no expectation of you doing anything, then you can easily just walk away.
Oh my God, the expectations, that's so huge. And especially uncommunicated expectations. It's like, well, you should have known that this is what we're expecting of
Totally.
each other. When it's that boundary or what your needs have not even been communicated, it's like the unexpected expectations. That's a huge one for me. It's like, well, what do you mean? I thought we were on the same page.
Yeah. Or also what happens is you think the expectation is one thing, but they're like, I never expected you to do that. But you keep doing this thing and they're like, why are you doing this? Because I thought you wanted this. No, I didn't want it.
Expectation of expectations.
Right? Like, oh my gosh.
You know, I for many years I've been a part of teen experience with Psy, and growing up, right, in all my teen years, getting to be around some people who are just very dear to me in my life, and Connie, who was at teen experience since the beginning, really, would always tell us, like, one of the main things she taught me while she was still with us was love and acceptance, right? That's kind of like my mantra in my head, of love and acceptance. And what she was saying is, like, approach every person and approach every situation with love and acceptance. And so like I was saying before, if I'm feeling this internal conflict in terms of being neutral and being grounded, it's like love and acceptance, love and acceptance, love and acceptance, to bring myself back down.
Well, it's like the anchor that we were talking about of your core values. Like, that sounds like that's what that is for you, Tim. Like, that's when you waver, that's what you come back to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that on my list of 3, but I'm going to make that one.
Yeah,
Love and
it's one.
acceptance is one.
Yeah. That feels good together.
I love it. Okay, so I think that we've kind of covered everything so far, but I just want to do a little wrap up of what we've done. And I love to give homework because, again, like I said, it's practice, practice, practice. And so really having a tangible thing that you're consciously working on can support you in getting these things ingrained in your life faster. All right. So when it comes to alignment, I think that the big core of why it matters, it's really about harmony between your values, your goals, your energy, and your actions. Like, those are the things, when they all come together, life starts to get a whole lot easier. And it's about living and deciding in a way that feels really like authentic for you and also purposeful. Okay. And so alignment does create clarity, confidence, and fulfillment. And it's a whole new ballgame. When you approach life, when you're feeling like that, it's easier. You can breathe. You're not stressed. You don't have this weight pulling you behind. It's lightness. Okay. Alignment can look a lot of different ways. Some people like to journal. Meditating is some people's big thing. I am not much of a meditator because my brain just doesn't like to slow down enough. So mine's like little bite-sized pieces, maybe 3 to 5 minutes at a time. That's about it. And sometimes that's all I need, right? But also protecting your energy and protecting your time are very, very important things to keep in mind with alignment, because I know there are tons of mothers out there, especially, who just give all of their time to all of their kids. And then at the end of the day, there's nothing left for that. There's no energy left to actually enjoy the time with the kids, just running around for them. And being able to say no and have clear boundaries is super important.
Well, so Alison, I saw this thing on Instagram, I will admit. But it's this mom that I started following because I'm, thinking of having children soon, right? And so I'm on Mom Talk or whatever. And she was saying how she sets boundaries. Like, when she's eating, she will not get up from the table to go grab them, open their Cheez-Its or their toys or whatever. Like, she eats her meal. she doesn't eat with them on their lap, like these little things. And I was looking at the comments of people being like, I can't tell if I love this, or is that mean, or that's so not what everyone's used to. But like that she trains that very young of like, I deserve my space, my time as well, which is in turn teaching them to do the same thing. So I just thought that's a new perspective I've never seen.
And most
before.
women probably think it's sacrilegious. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, like
You're supposed to sacrifice yourself for your kids. No, you're not. Yeah, but it is modeling. She's modeling for her kids what it looks like to take care of herself.
Alison, you could probably do a whole other podcast just on your tips for parents.
God.
Yes, please.
When you're ready, Mackenzie, we'll do a little one-on-one. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to give you some homework. Let's jump to the homework. Okay. So I already had you write if you haven't listened already to the first section, listen to the first session. And so I gave some homework on writing down at least 3 things that you want, and then the reasons why you don't currently have those results in your life. So if you've already started that list, awesome. Now, you're going to expand that list. You're going to keep that list, or you're going to keep adding to it. So as you go throughout your life, throughout the weeks, the months, however long it takes, you want to get to at least 100 things that you want. And then also 100 reasons why you don't currently have that result in your life. And typically what happens is you start to see a pattern, especially in the reasons why. And the reason why typically is a thought pattern, right? It's a belief that you've built up over all these years. And when you're able to really narrow down that one limiting belief that stops you everywhere, that's when you have the power to really go, now what am I going to do to get over this obstacle? Because this obstacle is not bigger than me. So start with that. And then if you're feeling up to it, since the part we covered in section 2, about really your purpose, like big picture vision, where you're going, that can be super overwhelming. And so sometimes to help with the overwhelm, to help get over the overwhelm, I have clients paint a picture, like literally paint a picture. Even if you're really like me, I am not a painter. My little people look like stick figures. Like, it's bad. It's childish. However, it helps me to get my vision up here that looks really nice, somewhat out there, so that I'm putting the pen to paper to really narrow it down and go, maybe I should add this to it. Maybe I should add this to it. Maybe I should add this. It needs a little more color over here. It needs a little something. And taking the time to really just see what comes up. Because sometimes what you start with is not what you finish with. So that is also some creative homework to be able to do. And if you listen to the second or third one, I don't remember which was which anymore. So one of the other sessions, when we talked about your values, your core values. So when you get that list narrowed down to 3, I encourage you to share it with someone you love and have a conversation about why those values are important to you and how they show up in your life right now, and actually some ways that maybe you haven't been showing up to create those values. To go, I'm out of alignment. I say this is important to me, but I'm noticing my schedule and the time that I spend on that is very low. I got to make a shift and a change. And so it becomes a really great connecting conversation with your loved one to say, here's the support that I need, or here's what I want to do, and here's who I want to be, and this is what I could use some support from you on. Okay, and now that creates alignment with your partner. All right?
I love that.
Yes. It's good. Okay, and so now, but before we go, I have a story, and it's one of my favorite stories, and it's about someone who everyone knows. So it's about Gandhi. And there's a story from years ago. There was a reporter who was following Gandhi all around the country as he was on a tour. And everywhere he go, the reporter would go, Gandhi, what can you tell me about what's happening over in India right now? And blah, 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 blah. And he'd say, I don't have time. I have an appointment to get to. I have a meeting to go to. And he would leave. And then the reporter would follow him. Well, tell me about this. What do you think about what's happening in Africa right now? And da 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 da. And as time went on, over like a course of a week, he kept following him around, trying to get him to give him some kind of an interview, right? He really wanted to get this interview. And so he's following Gandhi, and Gandhi's about to get on the train to leave the city. And the journalist said, Gandhi, give me a message. What's the message for your people? And his response was, my life is my message. And he got on the train and he left. And I thought, wow, it is. All of our lives are our message to our people, right? How we treat people, how we act towards people, how we treat ourselves. It's all comes together into one piece of how aligned am I with me and the person I want to project out to the world.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
It's a very simple statement. My life is my message. And
I was going to say simple, yet huge.
It really is very powerful. And since I've heard that story, it makes me think on a regular basis, like, oh, that interaction I just had, if that was the last time anybody ever saw me, that might not be the best reflection of who I want to be. So I got to change my energy right now so that I do project the woman that I know I can be.
All right. Well, Alison, thank you so much. I was going to ask you if there's anything else. So I am going to ask you if there's anything else.
I don't think so, actually. I think...
Yeah, great. I love how you wrapped it up. I mean, you gave us 4 incredibly informative sessions, some amazing homework, and that story to bring us to a close. I think it's just lovely.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me. It's
Beautiful.
super fun.
Thank you, Alison.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Alison. And we'll see you all next time.
Thank you for joining us today for the PSI Podcast.
If today's conversation sparks something for you, don't let it stop here. Share this episode with someone who's ready for their next breakthrough, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an opportunity to grow. I'm Tim Bowen.
And I'm Mackenzie O'Kelley. Until next time.